Hello there, everybody. I'm Mel Allen, and this is Baseball Collector.
Yo, and hello everybody, Mike here, Baseball Collector, and I'm going to try this again. Something funny happened earlier. I shot this video and I shot this part here where I'm talking like this, and I got a text from Mike, who is Canadian Cards, and he said, hey, I'm watching your video, but there's no sound. There is sound on the second part, so I immediately took the video down. I'm going to reshoot this part and re-upload the video. So if you watched it the first time, I apologize. If you're watching it now for the first time, then you will know no difference, and so good for you. Happy Friday to everybody. The weekend's here again, and I got a bunch of mail that I'm going to be showing off and going to talk about a few things. So this week I had the opportunity to go to the Rangers game. I was able to take 3 buddies with me from our YouTube community, and I was able to take Jeff, who is Pat Geek. I took Dave's Midlife Card Crisis, and Andy, who is She Blinded Me with Refractors. And Andy actually got to stay with me. We had a great time. We just talked cards and talked YouTube and just had a great time just hanging out. And I've just gotten to spend a lot of time with Andy, and he's just a great dude. And everybody, I mean, so is Jeff, so are Dave, for sure. They're all great guys. It's just Andy and I have gotten to spend a lot of time together. We have a lot in common, and just really have a good time together. So thanks, Andy, for coming. Thanks, Jeff and Dave, for coming to the game with me too. We had a good time opening some packs and giving away cards to kids. So if you got to see that video, great. Another thing I thought about was Andy and I were talking, and we were talking about the collection, and he was looking through the Beast and looking at other stuff, and he's like, man, I don't remember ever seeing this on video, and I haven't shown everything on video. I haven't had the ability to do that, or just the time or whatever. But he brought up a good point. He's like, man, this is great stuff. And so I was thinking about, videos that have been on for a long time on video. I've been doing this quite a while, and I have videos from back in the past of stuff that nobody has probably ever seen, because I know I've had so many great new subscribers come on board the channel, and people don't watch all this stuff. They don't go back and watch, especially if you have 500 videos like I do. If you may have 10 or 12 videos, they might go binge watch your channel, but typically they're not going to do that. And so I thought I'd do something different. I'm going to put a video link down below to a video that I did like 2 years ago this week. I think I did it on September 11th of 2017. And so you can go back and, quickly watch an old video of mine, and I'll kind of keep progressing through time and do it whenever I do a new video, maybe put a link down to an old video that you guys can go see. A Mike that has a little less gray in his beard maybe from a few years ago, and maybe a little less fat of a chin. Who knows? I still suck on camera then as I do now, but whatever, right? What are you going to do? So check that out. The other thing I'm going to start doing, I think, is every week when I get new comics, I'm going to show those off. And I'm a big Spider-Man guy. I love Marvel, all things Marvel, big Spider-Man guy. In fact, all these comics that you see up here are comics from the Marvel titles that were around in October of 1973, which is the month and year that I was born. And so I just thought that'd be a cool thing to collect and frame, and it's a great talking piece. And so I have those up there, but Spider-Man's my guy. I remember when I was a kid, I used to watch on Saturday morning Spidey and his amazing friends with Firestar and Iceman. It was an event, for me to watch that on Saturday, and I bet for a lot of you as well. So Spider-Man's always been my favorite. And so I've been collecting Spider-Man comics since I was a kid. And since I've been an adult, I've been kind of going back and filling in what I was missing and adding to my collection. Believe it or not, there are so many Spider-Men. There are, right now they're on number 830. And that's with several kind of restarts. It's funny, they'll go for a while and then they'll restart with a number 1, which is really not a number 1, but they they call it issue number 1. It's just a new iteration of Spider-Man for Amazing Spider-Man, just the main title of Spider-Man. And then within Spider-Man, there are bunches of other titles, subtitles. Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, when I was a kid. Web of Spider-Man when I was a kid. And now there's Symbiote Spider-Man and all sorts of other ones. But I'm a big, just hardcore, original flagship, if you want to call it that, Spider-Man guy. There are 830 of them. But within comic books, not unlike baseball cards, there are parallels. They call them in comics, they call them variant covers, where a different artist will draw the cover. It'll be the same comic book inside, similar to a parallel of baseball cards where you have a orange refractor and a red refractor and a blue refractor and a whatever on a chrome card, for example. So it's a similar concept, and some issues have only 1 or 2 variant covers, some have 20, some have 100. It's crazy. And so I've been trying to go back and not only get all the regular issues, but all the variant covers as well. I'm probably, of the 830 issues, like if I was to say how many issues am I missing, probably 60 to 70, maybe as many as 80. I need to look. I have a list of them. I just haven't ever added up really how many I'm missing. But I know from like 100 to now, I'm only missing like 4 or 5. And there's some pretty key and expensive issues. But here is what I got this week. I got the new Spider-Man came out this week, the new Amazing Spider-Man. Here it is. It says number 29. So of this iteration of Spider-Man, this is number 29. But if you look close, it shows Legacy number 830. So this is the 830th issue of Amazing Spider-Man. And here is the variant cover for the week. It's the Immortal variant. It's pretty cool. Spider-Man getting ripped away. And on the back side, actually, is a picture of Peter Parker. I'm not going to take it out because these are already bagged and boarded. But, you know, I'm really just digging, continuing this Spider-Man run. And it's not hard every week, you know, or every month or however often they come out. Not necessarily every month. Sometimes they'll come out with 2 issues in a month. But keeping up with that's pretty easy for me. And I'm up to 954 different Spider-Man comics, if you include variant covers. So I'm getting close to 1,000 different Spider-Man comics, which is just crazy. And they're all over here in a big filing cabinet. Let me show you. Right over there in that filing cabinet right there. I also collect Star Wars, the new Star Wars comics that have come out by Marvel since 2015 when they started redoing the movies or doing the new movies. So yeah, I just thought I'd show that too. I mean, we're all collectors, and I collect not just baseball cards, but comic books and I'm just a collector. That's how I am. So that's that. There you go. Check out the other video. You know, there you go. That's what's going on. Here comes some cards. We'll talk to you in a second. All right, so all the slabs that I have here have a 50s theme for sure. And that'll make sense in a second, but I've started doing the 50s decade for Hall of Famer Topps cards, and that's a big undertaking, but I'm super excited. I got a few of those here today. Then I got some of these. I told you guys I was also kind of going to start doing the Topps Living, just because I think these are so cool looking, these cards, and Topps has done a really good job with them. So let me see if I can get this to center up better. So here is the 2018 Topps Living of Ichiro. I'm doing all the Hall of Famers or guys that I think are pretty much surefire. So I would be wanting a Jeter and a Pujols and a Trout. Kershaw, I guess Kershaw doesn't even have one yet, I don't think. But just the guys that are either in the Hall of Fame or certainly heading in that direction. And so here's the Ichiro. I got 4 of them from one seller. I paid $6 a piece for these. So it's really hard to argue that kind of a price. It's just so cheap. So there's the Hank Aaron, and 9s for me are just fine. I'm not shooting for 10s, but if I can get them cheap, maybe. But I'm certainly 9s are just fine with me. There's the Hank Aaron. I just love the artwork on these. I know you guys do too. A lot of you guys love these, as you should. They're just beautiful. There's the Ted Williams, also in a 9. They're all 9s. And then lastly, for the Topps Living, I got this Jackie Robinson. So again, just beautiful. Really enjoying this, looking for these. They're easy to find. They're not that expensive, so just kind of a fun deal. All right, next up, We got some 59 tops. The first one here is this Baseball Thrills set. I already have the Willie Mays of this, and there are like 4 or 5 other cards, I think, in the Baseball Thrills set. Several of them are Hall of Famers, including this one, which is Al Kaline becomes the youngest batting champ, which is cool. This is in a 5. So I'm going to be looking in the 50 stuff for 5s and probably some 4s and even some 3s I'll be accepting, just because otherwise they're really hard. So you can read about how Al Kaline in 1955 won the batting title. Very cool. I think he was 20 years old or something. 19-year-old, maybe. No, 20, something like that. Can't remember. It doesn't even say there exactly, but he was young, and that's a card commemorating that moment. And then I'm going to have this happen a lot, but I did get a Stan Musial wraps out his 3,000th hit as a baseball thrill. That's in an excellent 5. So I have that one. I'll set that right there. And then what happens is you kind of get going, and I had some snipes out there, and I accidentally won it twice. It came in today. Both of them came in today. Different. I'm like, ugh, so annoying. But this one's a 5. This is actually a better looking 5 than the other one. And it's in the new Lighthouse holder. So, hey, look, I got 2. So there you go. And they'll both stay in the collection. I'm not really that mad. These weren't terribly expensive. I'd rather have that money go towards another card, but I don't get rid of stuff. So it's just going to stay in the collection. Another 59 tops here. The Bill Mazeroski, Hall of Fame second baseman, and an excellent mint 6 right there. Beautiful color on these. And we got a Orlando Cepeda, also in an excellent mint 6. Like I said, 5s are going to be just fine. But if I can get some 6s for reasonable, that's good too. It's a really good looking Cepeda card. And we've got Early Win right there in a 58 tops. Really cool card, nice color, same color scheme as the Ted Williams. Yellow background, red at the bottom. That's also in a 6. Then here's an example of kind of saying, look, on some of the kind of like this is a president of the National League, Warren Giles, who is a Hall of Famer, but it's a 56 tops. It's a really well-centered card, and it's a 3. And it's like, it's a pretty darn good looking 3. There's a little bit of snowing on his face there, which is probably the reason this card's a 3, but it's a really nice looking card, and it was $7 or something, so I was like, I'll take that. And then one last card to show from 56 tops, and that is the George Kell right there. Hall of Famer, third baseman for the White Sox in this. That's an excellent mint 6 as well. So really beautiful. All these I got from the same seller, all the ones with the Lighthouse holder. So he gave a really good combined shipping rate. It was just a really good deal, and there was 10% eBay bucks going on, so made it even better. So there you go, guys. There is a bunch of 50s themed cards, some from the 50s and some from now that are 50s themed, the Topps Living, some comic books, all sorts of stuff. So hope you enjoyed this. Lots of cool stuff. Let me know what you think down below. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great weekend and keep collecting.